immediate or these are the sounds that generators respond through their sacral center. So it'd be interesting to see when you have somebody ask you to do something, what automatically comes through for you. That's the way that you want to go. If you get an immediate or an immediate to something, then go with that, because that's exactly how you're designed to respond when you get an opportunity or an invitation or whatever. The generators have a very open aura, very welcoming aura. They tend to pull others in and attract others. They want to learn to wait to attract others and to be patient in that waiting, not jumping right into action, because you're not designed to do that. You don't want to make your decisions from the mind. You want to make your decisions from your gut instinct and from those sounds that come out when you get that invitation. Generators do tend to get a little frustrated when they're working, not seeing anything happening. There's kind of a plateau going on. You want to keep moving past that plateau, because you are going to come out the other side and get those results that you want. But you just need, when you're starting to feel like you want to quit and you're feeling frustrated, then don't quit, because things are coming. It's just that getting out that patience again for that. And the last thing I want you to know about the generator is that they're designed to stay active and to burn off that energy throughout the day. So before you go to sleep at night, you want to wear yourself out completely. You want to make sure that you have burned off all that energy before you go to sleep, so that you get a very restful night of sleep. So the next type I will talk about is the manifesting generator. So this is very similar to a generator. There are a few differences. So the generator strategy was to respond, and the manifesting generator's strategy is to inform. So basically, when you are going to do something, when you're going to start a project, you want to let other people involved know what you're doing. You want to just tell them, because they can feel a little put off sometimes by the manifesting generator, because they see them moving so fast and they see them just like going forward, and they kind of feel like they're left out. So by letting others know what you're doing, what you're planning, this is what I'm going to do, you're going to decrease any resistance that you get from others, and they're happy that you're letting them know of your plan. So basically, the manifesting generator's differences from the generator, I mean, they are also the workers of the world. They are very energetic. The manifesting generator is designed to multitask as well. They're very good at that. They have that sustainable energy, just like the generator. The difference is, like, if you have a manifesting generator and a generator both starting a job at the same time, the manifesting generator will tend to learn more quickly than the generator and to catch on quickly. But eventually that evens out. The generator does catch up later on. The manifesting generator is just quicker initially to get things into their brain and get things going. The manifesting generator tends to feel like the world's not moving fast enough for them, and they tend to get a bit impatient. They also must stay active and wear themselves out completely before sleep. The manifesting generator has even more energy to burn off than the generator, so you really want to keep active. You will start seeing things happen in your body. Like you can have, the manifesting generators can get thyroid problems and different things if they're not burning off that energy and releasing it from their body every day. So just keep in mind with the manifesting generator, it's very similar to the generator, which is why I didn't go through, that whole thing again. So you're very similar to the generator. You just have that, you just want to inform people of what you're doing. You have that same sustainable energy. You're going to be kind of like go, 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 but you're still not a manifester. Like, you still don't want to go that far with the pushing and the initiating. You're still not supposed to do the same thing as a manifester.
So I think it's interesting because so many of the generators and manifesting generators are here, and they're sending me messages.
Yes.
Oh, you're right on the money. And I just had a meeting with Josette and Vossi, and I'm like, I didn't sleep at all last night. It's because I didn't even close to wear myself out, because I've been trying to work less, but I'm not doing activities. So it was like
right.
4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I just want to sleep, man.
And that's exactly what will happen to you.
Right.
It's like, if you don't burn that energy off, it's going to keep you awake all night, and you're not going to get a good night's sleep at all.
I don't know if anyone else is here. I'm hearing a little fuzzy sound. Maybe make sure that your headphones are plugged in all the way.
I'm hearing that as well. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, well, guys, we're doing the best we can. It's also on Facebook Live. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, so that's about it for the manifesting generator. So I will mention that both generators and manifesting generators make up about 70% of the population. So you can see that they are definitely the types that make up the biggest portion of the population. There's probably just a little more, probably about 37% generators and about 33% manifesting generators. So it's pretty even. These last three types that I'll talk about, we're starting to get into the less common types. So the projector, I'm a projector. I know there's at least a couple people that I did charts for that are projectors as well. Projectors make up about 21% of the population. And the projector strategy is to wait for the invitation. And this is mostly with big things like an invitation to career, to love, to moving, that type of thing. Usually just for the bigger things in life. You don't have to wait to be invited for everything. And the theme that the projectors tend to have when they are not being themselves is they may feel bitterness. So the projectors are one of the non-energy types. The manifesting generators and generators are the energy types, and also the manifester. But the projector is one of the non-energy types. So if you're a projector, you're here to manage and direct others. You're not actually here to do that work that those generators are keeping themselves busy all day doing. And if you do, like, a projector may not do very well in a 9-to-5 job, and I can definitely vouch for that because that is going to take so much of their energy. They are going to burn out. And that's not what they're designed to do. They're here to, kind of be guiding the others, kind of guiding the project. Like, if the generators are the builders, the projectors are on the job site kind of saying, okay, that's great, this goes here, this goes there. You're kind of the guide for people. Projectors are very intuitive. They're highly sensitive as well. You're very magnetic as a projector. Others are attracted to your energy. But at the same time, if you're not waiting for the invitation, you're kind of pushing yourself into something that you're not really being invited into, others may be kind of repelled a little bit. But you have a penetrating aura as a projector, so you may be kind of pushing others away. They may feel a little bit invaded by your energy because it's just a very powerful and intense energy. So projectors also, like everybody else, are conditioned to manifest, to be the manifestors, to get things going, go, go, go. And projectors are not designed to do that either. They can take in energy from others through their open centers. They can amplify that and feel like they have energy temporarily, but it's not sustainable. It's not something that you're going to be able to do all day. And if you try to do that, you're going to really burn yourself out. So the projector may struggle a bit to be heard and recognized by others. And that's another thing about the auras. Like, you don't want to force yourself on other people to be heard or recognized. You don't want to push it too much, because that will make even more of that happen. You'll feel even less heard and recognized. So wait until you are recognized and people are acknowledging you for who you are. And the projector needs to know, and I can definitely vouch for this as well, the projector needs to know when to stop, like when they're doing things during the day, and not to stay up too late. I find myself constantly staying up till 11, 12 o'clock or later trying to get things done, and I know it's not what I'm supposed to do, and I usually end up having a really crappy night's sleep after that. So the projector needs to know when to stop. They need to go to the bedroom and rest before they can fall asleep. They don't want to go to bed and just expect to fall asleep right away. They need to go to bed before they're tired and spend some time just laying there and resting so that you can fall asleep. And projectors do tend to need naps at times during the day. So understand that is not a bad thing. So the next type is the manifester. And the manifester makes up about 8% of the population. So we're getting pretty rare with these last few types. So the manifester's strategy is to inform. So kind of like the manifesting generator, you want to inform others when you're getting ready to take action on something. You want to let people know what you're doing, let them know what to expect. When you're living in your not self-theme, then you may feel some anger. So if you're not living true to the manifester type, you may feel some anger. So the manifester has very strong energy to initiate. So this is where they're different from generators and manifesting generators. They have the strong energy to initiate and get things going, get things started, but they don't have the energy to sustain that. So just as with the projector, normal jobs will be very exhausting for them, like 9 to 5 type of jobs are going to be exhausting because you have the energy to just get things started, but not to maintain that throughout the day, because you are also not here to do the work. But when you get an idea as a manifester, you can go right out and do it. You don't need to ask for anybody's input. You don't need anybody to give you the go-ahead to get something going. You are the ones that are designed to go out and make things happen. So you are the only ones that are supposed to do that. Manifestors are very energetic and driven. They have a very powerful presence. They tend to be very successful. They can be impulsive at times. They have kind of a mysterious aura about them, and sometimes their energy can make others uncomfortable. And that's mostly if you're not informing others of what you're doing, if you're just going ahead and moving forward and not including others, not letting them know what's going on. That's mostly when your energy would make people feel uncomfortable. It's like sometimes they have a little trouble communicating when they get into action, and people may feel left out because they don't get that communication. So just be aware to make sure you communicate. And the manifester needs breaks throughout the day, and they need time to discharge that extra energy and to rest throughout the day. They need to lie down and relax before going to sleep. So they also need to go to bed before they're tired. Don't wait until you're exhausted if you're a manifester, because again, you won't get a good night's sleep. And the last type, but certainly not least, is the reflector. And the reflector is very, very rare. I did not do any charts for the live stream for anyone that was a reflector at all. And they are only 1% of the population, so it's a very small portion of the population. So the reflectors are a very unique being. All the other types are solar types, and the reflector is a lunar type. So they are very connected to the cycles of the moon. So the strategy for the reflector is to wait through a full moon cycle, which is about 29 days, before making decisions and acting upon something. the not self theme that they may feel when they're not living in their true self is disappointment. So the reflector, like I said, is a very unique and sensitive being. The difference with the reflector is that all of those 9 centers that you see on the chart are open if you're a reflector. And if you look at your chart, you'll see some of you have different centers that are colored in. Some people may have all the centers colored in. Some people may have a few colored in. But if you're a reflector, you don't have any of those centers colored in. So you are basically taking in energy from everyone and everything around you all the time. So for the reflector to be happy, the reflector will need to be in the right place, in the right environment with the right people all the time. You need to be honored and valued by the other people around you. You see your truth reflected in others. So if you are, for example, going to make a decision, you want to wait through a full moon cycle to make a decision, which I understand can be very hard to do because it is a full month. During that time, you will also want to talk about your decision with others, and you will see your answer reflected back to you through talking with others about it. So very different than the other types. Reflectors are also not designed to work. They don't have that sustainable energy to do the work. They are basically supposed to be seeing and reflecting what is around them. They're very deeply conditioned by their environment. They're also very, very sensitive to the pain and suffering on the planet and the things that are going on. So the reflector will need a lot of alone time. They also do need to be with people, though. They don't want to be alone all the time. And they will want to lie down in bed and rest also before sleep. So that is it for the 5 types. Does anyone have any questions? I'm just looking at some of the comments. Oh yes, Suzanne says her son is a manifesting generator, and that describes him to a T. And your daughter is a generator. Your husband and you are both projectors. That's really interesting. You have most of the types within your family. That's very cool.
Do like types tend to attract like types? Like generators like to be around generators, and manifesting generators like to be around manifesting generators? Or do we just happen this group got together because we're 70% of the planet that we love hanging out together?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think it can go many different ways, because like you and I, for example, you're a generator and I'm a projector. So we're designed to work very well together. And I think that, we're automatically drawn to the people that we work well with and are going to connect well with. But I think we're also drawn to the similar types because they understand us and they feel, they know what's going on with us, because like my husband's a projector too. So we totally understand each other.
Well, I think this is great information, and it's like every business, whether you're an entrepreneur and working with co-creating with others, or a business, this is invaluable information. First, you're going to understand the people a whole lot better and get people in the right place where they shine,
Yes, exactly.
Can you just go through the very beginning when we were talking about generators? Because my little record sign was under my notes. So I just want to make sure at the beginning when you talked about, the very first few minutes, if you could just kind of cover that a little bit. We do have it on the live stream. Hey, Bridget. We do have it on the Facebook live stream, but at the same time, I realized that this was under my notepad. The iPad went flying, so it's like, no. I was generating too much energy.
Apparently. So just the part about the generators mainly? Is that...
just the very brief beginning, and then then we'll open the lines up and everybody can chat. And thank you to the live streamers showing up. We appreciate you.
Yeah, so I'll just go through this quickly again, just to make sure everybody's got it for the replay. So if you're a generator, you're one of the most common types. About 37% of people are generators. And your strategy as a generator is to respond. And if you're being your not self, if you're living in your not self theme, then you may feel some frustration. So generators, as everybody else, have been taught to initiate, taught to go out there and get things done, get moving. The only type that's supposed to go out there and initiate like that is the manifestors. So the generators need to let life show up for them and not to go out and initiate and make things happen. It's good to set an intention. If you're wanting something to happen, set your intention for that. Wait for that sign to take action and then respond to that. So you're responding to what's going on around you. Generators sometimes fear that they will wait forever and nothing's going to happen, but that's not the case. When you wait to respond, things start showing up for you. And the generators are the builders and they are the workers of the world. They have that sustainable energy to work. They're one of the few types that can do like a 9-to-5 job and feel okay with that when it's right for them. If you are in a job that's not right for you, it's going to feel very, very tiring, and it's just going to feel very, very frustrating for you. But if you are in the right job or career or business for you, you're going to have that sustainable energy. You could work all day and all night if you want to. So your strength, again, is not in the initiation, but in the follow through. So the generator needs to find the right work and the right opportunities to be happy. Sometimes they tend to enter things by using the mind, and they are designed to go by their gut and respond through sounds. Like if there's an opportunity, someone asks you a question, you tend to respond through sounds like uh-huh or uh-uh. Like just see if you notice what comes up for you. If someone asks you a question, if you get an immediate uh-huh or uh-uh, then that's the way you should go, because that's your natural response. The generators have tons of energy, tons of power. They just must learn how to use it correctly and to do the responding. They have a very welcoming aura. They pull people in through that open aura. When they're doing something and working on a project or whatever, you want to, if you're starting to feel like you want to quit and you're getting frustrated, you want to stick it out and keep moving through that plateau, because they tend to get to a point where they want to quit, and that's usually right before the magic is ready to happen. And the last thing for the generator is that they must stay active and wear themselves out completely, burn off all that excess energy before going to sleep, so that they're not up all night like Brenny was last night.
Well, you know what's fun from the feng shui perspective, which we know is what the I Ching is all about, because the I Ching are the two trigrams that are put together and make a hexagram, is as you're going through these, I'm like, oh, that's a wood element. Wood elements, the generators are the ones who plant the seeds. And what happens, you set your intention, but if you get frustrated, that's wood out of balance, like dry wood snaps.
Right.
That you quit right before the manifestation happens. And when you were talking about the manifestors, they are the fire elements. They're very few, but they're the ones who really get out there and get things going. So I'm having fun to see how I love human design, because any manual that God can give you so you understand yourself and your family and the people you work with better. You know, like when you're talking about a gut instinct. And, you know, like also the wood elements are thunder. They're the loudest sound on earth. So I just love how all these pieces come together. And of course, and we understand part of it's astrology, and astrology is like the stardust that you are comprised of when you take your first breath. So that's what's great and fun, and why I know that my followers are having fun with this, because it's just another piece of the puzzle to see things in a different way.
Exactly. Really is. It's amazing how it all fits together.
So for those of you on Facebook, if you haven't got your free chart, make sure to do it. We have the replays that we put up. You just go to momentumu.online/. TAMI for Tammy. That'll give you the email will be sent out, and you can just click on it, and it's just basic information, so you get a chart so you understand what your type is, so you understand yourself better and your family better and your coworkers, and it's just great to have information so you make smart choices. And guys, make sure to use that hashtag momentumu, because we're going to go out and pick one lucky person for tomorrow that Tammy's actually going to take 30 minutes, which is what we're trying to keep these times to. One lucky person is going to get their like chart done so they understand themselves better. Just going over this basic overview gives us some big ahas right there. Mm-hmm. So now we just have to get really tired. All of the manifestors, it's like, wait, you're not tired yet. That might be the reason why I was always such a party girl. It's like I never wanted to quit until I was like so tired I would just like almost fall asleep. I was like, okay, now I can go to bed.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So I'm going to stop the live stream. Guys, go to the momentumu page, and there is an event link for tomorrow also. And this live stream will, as soon as I end it here, it will be on Facebook. And also it'll be on the replay page. It'll be a cleaner version, except the first few minutes, which I forgot to record, even with the record story. Remind me, we were chatting before and having a lot of fun, right?
Yes, that's true.
So thank everybody for showing up on Facebook. We love it. Share it out. This is really powerful, fun information. It's 3 short trainings this week, and then next week on Tuesday we'll get together and answer more questions for those of you that are just getting your chart. You're not behind. That's why we have the replays up. So I'm going to thank everyone on Facebook. Hey, Joe Smart, my buddy. Good to see you. I'm ending Facebook, and then we're going to open the line up so we can all chat on Zoom, because we're just having a lot of fun doing that. So if you guys like fun, you can zip over to Zoom too. Alrighty, so I'm going to end the meeting here, and then I'll open it up. So those of you that want to communicate a little bit more and let Tammy know, give her your feedback if she's right on the money or not. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.